Hey, you. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Are you looking for the best way to promote your podcast? It's easy. Just advertise your podcast to your ideal target audience. That's right, listeners of similar podcasts. Podbean has the best and most cost-effective options for you. Just go to the website sponsorship.podbean.com/STR. That's right, your friends here at Scout Team Radio are hooking you up. Go to sponsorship.podbean.com/STR and you will get the best deals to get your podcast rolling. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy Scout Team Radio.
Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, good morning and welcome back. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, 6 a.m. on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yep, that's all true.
Those
And the
spaces, all
man on the other
You'll get a
microphone.
deposit bonus up to $1,000, courtesy
Uh-oh.
of 12-ounce.
We got a commercial playing in the background. I don't know what that's all about. I believe that was an un-American thing to do. And the man on the other microphone, he is a great American. We know him as... Uh-oh, I don't hear Chris America coming in hot or live. So, we'll keep going. We'll keep going here. All right, good morning, everybody. We're excited to be here on 12-Ounce Sports Radio as we are every morning. We also drop it as a podcast. We record each and every live episode. We're Scouts.
Testing.
Mike is back live. Mike is back live. Wow, we're having quite the morning. Quite the morning this morning. So I am communicating with my Twitter machine. Let's see. All right, we're going to hit a quick pause and be right back with you.
Sports Radio. And folks, Amazon and Jeff Bezos are insanely rich with money. 12-Ounce Sports Radio is insanely rich with sports takes. Why not merge the two together by making sure you click on our Amazon link on our sponsors page before you go shopping? Or you can find it on article pages as well. It'll cost you nothing extra and helps out the station just enough to keep the lights on. So go to www.12ozsportsradio.com and navigate to our sponsors page. At the top, you'll see the Amazon banner. Just click it and go shopping. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to 12-Ounce Sports Radio. If you're an avid listener, you'll notice we've had many gambling shows join our station.
test.
The Primetime Angles Show, the Vegas Squares.
Chris
Nate
America, I can
Wall.
hear you saying test, test.
And
So
many
that
more.
means I think we're going to be good to go here. See, we're live. Bringing it to you hot and live like we do each
Yeah,
and
but
every
you're not
morning.
coming through my headphone.
Could be a headphone issue. See, it's coming through the radio. You can hear it echoing in the background. I can hear you hearing, listening to it. But you can't hear me, so that's a problem. Now you have a headphone issue. Wow, guys, listeners, we want to thank you all for listening in. We are
All right, I'll get my
live.
side figured out.
And when we go live, anything and everything can happen, right? This is like Saturday Night Live when Sinead O'Connor did that thing with the Pope. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing, except ours is just a bigger train wreck than that. No? Is that an old reference? Am I too old for this? Am I lonely now on the microphone? All right. Okay,
Such
so
a lonely day.
oh, there
and
you
it's
are. I was wondering if
mine.
you were still there. Good. Okay, Chris America, welcome. Here, this is for you, sir.
Yeah, it's your boy Chris America coming to you live this Wednesday, March the 27th. Yeah.
Yes, 27th. You put a little question mark on the prompter there. I like
Yeah,
that.
it
You're
wasn't-
very
it
Ron
wasn't-
Burgundy.
Yeah, I wasn't so confident in what day it was. Like I normally am not. It's always too early. And Loudbeard, you and I, we have a studio ghost that from time to time will sneak into our studios, get onto the computer, and just start messing with all of the settings.
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen to me several times. You've had it happen to you several times. There are things that happen that are just unexplainable, and today was one of those days, right? You go
Yeah.
in there, and everything has worked good for weeks and weeks and weeks, and all of a sudden you go in there, and the microphone's turned off on an internal setting, or the headphones
time
are
it was-
turned off.
Yeah, the output was turned off. So I'm sitting here waiting for you to go live, and usually you start right at 5:59. But you know, whatever. Maybe Loudbeard's just having an off morning. 6 o'clock rolls by. I see that the studio is paused with the commercials, but I'm not hearing any sound whatsoever. So then I send you a text at 6:01. Hey, is the studio working? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, are you in it? Yes. I'm like, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. So then that's when I like talked into the mic. I don't know if you guys heard that part.
I've heard a few things.
A little tappy taparoo.
Yeah. You talking to yourself. Yep, that's always entertaining first thing in the morning.
So then I turned on the station to see like what was coming through. You didn't hear the commercials playing? Because I finally played the commercials.
You
And I was
did
like-
while I was doing your intro.
Oh.
I was like, and here's the great and then I'm like, wait, commercials playing. Let me pause that real quick. Great American, Chris America, and then.
Well, that was
like,
me trying to see
oh.
like if it was on my end and if I could hear the commercials, and then I couldn't hear the commercials. I don't know.
All right. Well, when we listen back, we're going to be able to laugh at ourselves. And
Well, hopefully the
yeah.
audience is laughing and not like, oh, I can't listen to these two jabronis.
Yeah. Well, I might cut out some of the bad parts there because
No, just leave it all in. Just
leave it all in. The quiet
live by
moments.
the sword.
the-
We die
Yeah.
by the sword.
Hey, when you're live, this is what happens. You got to go all in. You can't. There's no leeway for errors when you're live.
I
But
found
sometimes
out what the
errors
problem was. I found out what the problem was. It was Scotty Too Hottie Kaiser. He says,
Oh.
"Welp, I finally am able to tune in live to Scout Team Radio, and there are all kind of technical issues. I've messed everything up. Sorry, fellas. I feel like I was a little bit nervous. Like there was a disturbance in my force that a man such as Scotty Too Hottie's stature was listening in. So I got nervous. I apologize, guys.
So he hit us up on the Twitter line, huh?
That's what I'm seeing. You don't see
Yeah.
that?
So listeners out there, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at Scout Team Radio. Tell us how terrible we are, or if you
Yes.
just want to say, go ahead and do that too, because we like to get social. We like to interact, and today is What's Up Wednesday. I made that up right there on the spot.
What's
that
up? I like it. We're going back
Okay.
to what, like 1999?
Yeah, back
We're
when
gonna party like it's 1999.
I'm one of those old people now that's like, back in my day, things were better. That was a better time. I wish that time would still be around. People weren't all in their cell phones all day long, and we enjoyed real entertainment. Yeah, no, not buying it, huh?
Yeah. Oh. Just found out Jordan Peele is interested in returning to his Us universe. So it looks like he watched the weekend sales roll in. He's like, I think I'm gonna make a sequel to this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He says,
he's like,
I have
I
the
can figure it
entire
out."
mythology of this world because the audience can tell if you don't.
I haven't had a chance to see that movie, but I am super excited about it because I loved, like I said before, we had the Get Out movie that he did. That was amazing, and Us looks so good. Jordan Peele's just got a different style to his horror genre, and if he makes a universe out of it, I'm all in, man. I am all in.
Yeah, I'm usually not into horror films, so I've been wanting to see this movie. I've heard how great, what was the first one?
Get out.
Get Out. That's right. And now Us.
Get out.
So everybody's hyping him up. So maybe I gotta deal with some nightmares for a little while and just watch it. Just man up.
Yeah, you need to do it. Now, I mean, it sounds like you're just afraid of the dark. So obviously,
it's a little bit of like I hate watching horror movies by myself, and Miss America will not watch horror movies.
Huh. Now, does this
we
stem
watched,
from you two watching or reading the book Scary Stories when you were a child?
Maybe that and Are You Afraid of the Dark on Snick.
Ooh, yeah, Snick. That was a scary show. Just saying, when you're 12 or 8 or whatever age it is that people watch that show, that was intense.
Yeah, so
I can't
I'm
believe
trying to
Snick
remember,
did that to me.
What did we watch? We watched Supernatural. We watched the first episode of Supernatural, and Miss America could not hang. She was not about it.
Really awful TV show on CW?
I guess so. I mean, once there was a woman that was like stuck to the ceiling and lighting herself on fire, Jen was out.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so, okay, note to self, don't ever invite the Americas over for horror movie night. Check.
Uh-oh.
All right.
We got Scott Kaiser. We got them all fired up. They got to stop making these movie universes. I'm almost mad at Marvel for perfecting the formula because now everyone thinks they got to make a universe.
Okay, so I could see where the frustration is there because, you know, back in the good old days, like in the 90s when I was a young lad, you could go watch a movie and it would stand alone by itself. But now Marvel has done it so well, you almost expect there to be, after the credits, you need that end scene to help tie it into another movie. You expect there to always be a sequel, but do we really want to blame Marvel? I feel like this goes way back to like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. When they made a universe of movies that just never ended, maybe it was their fault. Not necessarily Marvel, just it's been going on for a very long time.
I loved it when they decided to bring the Alien universe and the Predator universe together. It was like the universe that was merged that we didn't know we needed to be merged.
Right, we sat there and said, both of these are alien life forms, and these movies have basically lost all interest from anybody. So let's put them together and make them stronger. It's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Just
you said alien life forms. Are you suggesting we merge Alf with Alien and Predator?
Ooh, that
should
would be
we merge those three universes together?
I like Alf. That was one of the best TV series of the 80s. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I had the little plush little puppet thing that they gave out at Burger King. I had like 2 or 3 of those.
Oh, look at you. You still have it, huh? Sleep with it every night? Put you to sleep nicely?
Yeah. You just got to make sure he doesn't eat my cat.
Yeah, because, the Freddy vs. Jason movie, that was necessary. We had to see a standoff. That was like Mortal Kombat version of Freddy versus Jason. That was definitely a worthwhile movie to
Oh, yeah, I forgot when they brought those 2 universes together.
See, now we just need to clash universes. So not only is it bad because we have universes, now we just need to start bringing them together. So when are we going to see a Batman versus, I don't know, Iron Man?
I got you. We need an Avengers hangover movie.
Ooh, there we go. That is 2 universes.
Yes.
Because they have redemption that they need to get. After Hangover 3, you can't come back from that, right? Like, you need a big splash to reinvigorate that universe. So, yeah, the Hangover universe needs Marvel right now.
So you go over and you see, like, okay, what is next after the Avengers defeat Thanos, right? How about they go party out at Vegas?
Dun, dun, dun.
They go out and party out at Vegas. They run into Alan. They run into Stu, Mr. Chow, Mr. Creepy, all those guys. And it's just a wild, fun adventure.
I'd pay money to see that. That would be the party of the century.
It would be. Avengers partying it up with the Hangover guys.
And I don't want to give it away. Spoiler alert for all the listeners out there, but they wake up in a hotel room and they don't remember what happened the night before.
Yep.
And so everybody's got to retrace their steps.
So they're
but
like going through Vegas.
It's funny because it's the Avengers.
Right. So like they're going through Vegas and you're like, oh, well, there was a gigantic lightning storm here at this club. That must have been Thor. What did Thor do here?
Yep. Oh, I see a hammer imprint, or now I guess it's an axe. Sorry, Stormbreaker. There's an axe imprint in the side of the wall. Yes, there's definitely been a Thor sighting here. Perfect.
Yep. We need to become writers, man. We need to start pitching these ideas to Hollywood.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you. So now that Marvel and Disney have bought Fox, we can bring the X-Men universe into this. So we could do an X-Men hangover movie as the sequel to the universes coming together. Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
I like it.
Hey, moving on, I do want to mention something here to you, Chris America. We got to get into sports. We've had technical difficulties. Went down some crazy rabbit hole about universes. But this story that just doesn't end, Robert Kraft pleads not guilty and requests a jury trial. So I just want you to know right now, Chris America, I've got insider knowledge. I have a source. It's a not named source, but they're going to do a jury trial, and they've already named all the jurors to be selected for this trial. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, remember that in the legal system, it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. Everybody has the right to a jury trial. Everybody has the right to pick or to have a fair and just, get their day in court. So this has just been selected. It just came out. This is hot off the presses. First thing this morning. First being reported by Scout Team Radio. It looks like we have a fair trial jury that has been selected. We've got Mark Wahlberg, Peter Griffin, Ben Affleck, Tiger Woods, Gisele Bündchen, Ted from that teddy bear from that movie, Matt Damon, Teddy Bruschi, Bon Jovi, Dave Portnoy, and Bill Burr. So these are all been selected. There's not been any money exchange. This is just picking rabbits out of a hat right now. So Robert Kraft said, jury trial it is.
All right, so the only thing I'm going to correct you on is you said the criminal justice system, and then you went on and on about something. I don't know. You're wrong, sir. In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate but equally important groups. The police, who investigate the crime, and the district attorneys, who persecute the offenders. These are their stories. Dung dung.
I wish you had the sound effect ready.
I wish I did have that sound effect.
That was solid. That was solid, man. Yeah, Robert Kraft, why doesn't he just go away? The story just keeps creeping up.
Especially after he just did this whole apology and everything. So then what are you apologizing for?
Yeah, if you're not guilty, why? I don't know. Rich people, man, they don't make sense. They think money will buy everything. He's just trying to get out of this. This has become the most publicized rub and tug I've ever seen in my entire life.
He's sitting there listening to, what is that band name where they're like, money for nothing and the chicks for free?
I can't pick the name right
Dire
off the top
Straits.
of my head, but
Dire Straits.
There you go. All right.
My MTV. Oh, good times. I feel like this is a full-on 80s show. We're making tons of 80s references right now.
Yeah, hey, on a side note, I went to 80s trivia last night, and so now I'm all in on the 80s. Alf, yes, big time.
Well, in 1989, this team right here came to fruition. Yeah,
that song
that's
from
right. The
1989?
Orlando Magic won their 6th straight game in a row, and we now, I believe, we have the 8th seed right now, right?
Yep, Orlando has the 8th seed right now. They have moved up, and they are actually, this is a crazy factoid I'm going to throw at you, Chris America. They are only one game behind being in the 6th seed. One game behind the Brooklyn Nets. So the Brooklyn Nets are at the 6th. The 7th is the Detroit Pistons, who the Orlando Magic are only a half a game behind, and then the Magic are sitting there with the Heat and the Hornets also hot on their trail. So the East is heating up. That bottom half of the East, that could get shaken up pretty easily. So we just hope that our Orlando Magic continue to win and hang on tight to one of these playoff spots.
So we could get the 6th seed and play the 76ers, whom we just blew out. I love it.
Yes. That would be a good series, though the Sixers would bring their absolute A game in a playoff, but the Orlando Magic, we always play up to competition. We want the best. Bring it, and
The
we will
best of
knock
the
them
best.
out in the first
Yeah,
round.
as long as we don't play the New York Knicks or the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round, we're good.
Or the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, any of those
Yep.
teams. No, we don't need to play them. That would not be good playing down to that competition. But yeah, big win for Orlando last night going against the Heat. This was a great game just because, one, they honor Chris Bosh. So Bosh gets his jersey hung in the rafters. He comes and he does, one of those heartfelt speeches talking about how much he loves the team and all that jazz, just the normal stuff that everybody does. So you would think with all these emotions running, with all of this excitement going on in the stadium or in the arena, that the Miami Heat would be pumped up for a huge win last night, especially since it's so competitive in the playoff picture. And this was a huge game for both teams. And the Orlando Magic, we call them the mighty Thors of the NBA. They came in and they took their Stormbreaker and put it through the heart of the Miami Heat.
I mean, when you have Rookie of the Year for 2014, Michael Carter Williams on your roster, we can't be stopped.
I mean, you can check that on Wikipedia. It is true. 2014 Rookie of the Year, Michael Carter Williams.
MCW.
You haven't heard his name since then, but
MCW.
as of today, he's back.
Hey.
He's back.
He was just sleeping for this moment, like a sleeping giant, finally awoken.
Like George Foreman taking 10 years off of boxing and then coming back.
And then coming back.
Yes. Like Hulk Hogan passing on the George Foreman grill and going for the meatball maker. He's back.
Oh, the Hulk Hogan meatball maker.
I need to go on eBay and get me one of those because I'm pretty sure they're not still in production. Like, I might have to go get a vintage one.
Yeah,
so,
look on eBay, man. Look on eBay. Buy, sell, trade. Maybe there's like a black market for it. I don't know. Start perusing your Goodwills and your pawn shops.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I'm derailing us quite a bit here. But Hulk Hogan, George Foreman, two separate paths as people in the world. And Hulk Hogan was given an offer for an investment, and he could have put his name on the George Foreman grill. And he passed. He said, "You know what? Why not?" To his manager, he said, "Why don't you give that investment opportunity to one of your other clients? And I'm going to go ahead and get the meatball maker." Because it was something like you could flex your bicep to squish the meatball into the meatball maker, and he thought that was more like something he would do. So
he's like, "What? I get to look at my pythons while making meatballs? I'm
a
in, brother.
meathead making meatballs. This is
I'm
me,
in, brother.
brother."
Just slap Hulkamaniac on that, and it'll sell."
Oh, man. And you see this? We're getting some hot tweets in. Scott Kaiser. Thank you, Scott, for tweeting in at us this morning. He is from Craft Brewed Sports. You can catch them every Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. And he's coming in hot with the take. "I can't believe the Magic went and ruined Chris Bosh's jersey retirement night. And you guys are celebrating. Are we bad people?"
We are.
We're bad people. Okay.
Yeah.
He is a 2 to 3 year South Beach legend. And for you guys to just ignore that shameful, do better, Scout Team Radio.
Yeah.
I mean, those were a solid 2 to 3 years, though, weren't they?
They were solid, and I'm so over retiring jerseys. I'm over all of it. I thought it was stupid when they're like, what number is Kobe Bryant going to retire, 8 or 24, or are they going to retire both? And it's like, okay, so now you're going to have guys retiring 2 numbers with your team, and what, like in 60 years from now, you've retired 60 numbers, and so you got guys with like 127 as a jersey number?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, Chris America, because you're
Ring
you're
of
bringing
Honor,
the truth,
Hall of
man.
Fame, like
You're the
do
truth
whatever you
right
want.
now.
I don't get the retiring of a jersey, and now you're retiring guys like Chris Bosh, who was there for 4 seasons, I think.
He was there a little bit longer, but a lot of it was injury plagued. The second, after LeBron and
after LeBron left.
Yeah.
So I think we got to come up with some rules, Loudbeard. What are going to be the jersey retirement rules? I think minimum 7 years at a team. Minimum 7 solid, healthy years. Not like 4 years you're on the team and then 3 years you're just like Grant Hill was just writing a contract with injuries on the Magic. No, we can't have none of that.
Now, see, I'm gonna one up you there. I'm gonna say 10 years. 10 years to me on a team. You have to like a decade.
Okay.
This needs to be a whole decade, like the 80s. It was a great decade. You need to be as good to your team as the 80s were to the rest of the world. And that, to me, is what is the best criteria for this. Because when I look at legends, I look at Michael Jordan. He spent 10 years on the Bulls. And it doesn't have to be consecutive. If you retire and go to baseball for 2 years, that is okay. I'm going to go ahead and allow it. Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, these guys need to be retired in their arenas.
Dwight Howard. Although he wasn't on
shut
for
your
10
face.
years. He wasn't on for 10 years. I think it got to 8.
Was 8, yeah. Was he 8?
Yeah, 2004 to 2012.
Yeah. See? But do you think he should be retired as a Magic jersey?
Like, I do, but I don't. Like, he's the most deserving because I don't think we're ever going to get a guy that's going to be on the Magic for 10 solid years.
Well, you know that right now they have, like, the 6 retired because of not the 6th man or something stupid, or 0, or they've got something retired for, like, the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
That's dumb.
It's stupid. Yeah, because we don't have somebody for 10 years. But that's what makes it, to me, that sets that bar really high, right? Like, you have to be serious with this whatever team you're on.
So I don't know if I'm pretty sure LeBron James made it to 10. But does it have to be consecutive 10 years?
No, see, I think you can jump. Like I said, with Jordan retiring, with LeBron leaving and coming back, and I would give LeBron, like, he should be retired in Cleveland. I would give that. Now, was it a full 10 years that when you look at both of them? I think so, right? I would give it. Yeah.
We got a Mike Burlon, also from Craft Brew Sports. He heard Dan Marino is pissed that Bosch's jersey retirement really takes the shine off of Marino's jersey hanging in the rafters for the Heat.
Oh.
That was another one where it's like, Miami, what are you doing?
Miami. They're like the Magic. Like they're grasping at, like, we want superstars, we just don't have any. So they're hanging on the Marino train because that was the only big superstar out of Miami for how many years? So
Forever.
The Heat. What are you going to go back? Hey, Ronnie Cycli, we're going to retire your jersey. Yeah, that was great. I mean, I guess Dwayne Wade would be the guy. That's that 10-year mark. To me, Dwayne Wade deserves it. But maybe not Shaq. Maybe not LeBron. Maybe Mourning. Lonzo Mourning was there for a while. But, you got to be some criteria. We need a specific criteria. What else? If it's 10 years, let's say we go with my criteria. What other criteria do you think it would be to be a legend, to get your number hung in the rafters?
I think 10 years is good enough. Like, obviously, you have to have solid numbers. We don't want you to be this, like, 10-year guy that's just... Like, J.J. Redick was on the Magic for a really long time, too. And let's say he just decided to take less money and spend 10 years. I don't know that J.J. Redick's career would have, called for a jersey retirement. So maybe we got to have some sort of stats.
What about championship? Is that a requirement?
I don't know, because it's so
probably
hard to
not.
win a championship. Because I feel like if the Utah Jazz wanted to retire Stockton and Malone, have at it, man. If they've reached that 10-year mark, I don't remember how long they were with Utah, but if they had reached that 10-year precipice that we talked about, they definitely deserve to have their jerseys retired. If I was into that sort of thing.
Great example. Yeah. Okay. So maybe not the playing part of it. So I get that. Or, I mean, the championship part.
We have a guy on the Twitter line. Ozzie Guillen needs to have his Miami Heat jersey retired. Marlins legend Ozzie Guillen.
They would do it too. We're embarrassing ourselves.
I mean,
The
not
whole
me.
state
I'm
of
an Orlando
Florida.
Magic fan. Miami down
Florida
there, they
man.
can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but it's our state, right? We're the Florida man. We like to
Florida
embarrass
man.
ourselves in every way possible. And we do it over and over and over again. Whether it be on the news or whether it be in sports. The Florida man, it's real. The curse is real.
It is. Well, Loudbeard, we did it again. I made a tease on Monday morning at the end of the show that I would do something tomorrow or yesterday, and I didn't deliver. I totally forgot about it. So on the other side of the break, when we get back, we're going to talk about LeBron James not being in the playoffs and not making the finals for the first time in 8 seasons. And I'm going to give you my 8 streaks that are more impressive than going to the finals through the Eastern Conference 8 years in a row?
Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back, and thank you all for listening in. Once again, we are Scout Team Radio, bringing it to you hot and live each and every morning, 6 a.m., Monday through Friday on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. Replay comes on at 11 on 12-Ounce Sports. We also drop each and every episode as a podcast. You can catch that podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or our website, scoutteamradio.com. We have also partnered with Barnburner Podcast Network. Make sure you check them out, barnburner.ca. It is a podcast network based out of Canada that we come on with our podcast each and every day, so thank you, Barnburner. If you want to get social with Scout Team Radio, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at Scout Team Radio. We also have a Facebook page, and we are on Instagram at Scout Team Radio. Check all of those out. If you want to get social, you can hit us up there at Twitter, and we will read your tweets live on the air like we have done with our friends over at Craft Brewed Sports this morning. Yes, it has been a good time. Hey, Chris America, I do want to say one thing to you, sir. I want to say that you on your commercial, you say, hey, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America. And I don't know if you're my favorite Patriot. There are several other Patriots that I like more than you.
No, I am. I am. Sometimes I got to do the thinking for you, Loudbeard. Sometimes you start thinking.
Am I overthinking this right now?
Yeah. Like, if you're listening to my voice right now, just know that I'll do your thinking for you from here on out.
Okay. So you're my favorite Patriot, not Teddy Bruschi.
Nope.
Not Vince Wilfork.
I mean, does anybody remember who that guy is?
Not Julian Edelman. Not Robert Kraft Rubentug.
Julian Edelman, the drug user? Like, why would you want to look up to that guy?
I don't know. You look up to John Jones, and you think for me, so I don't know what to think now.
That's true.
You emulate him. He's your hero.
I can be a hero, baby.
And does your streak include my one additional streak that I added in when you went back and listened to our old
I
episode?
can add it. I'll
Can
let
you add that?
it.
That's going to be a bonus. We got a bonus
That's
streak
you.
that we're going to add on to Chris America's top 8 streak. So, Chris America, take it over, my friend. Tell us.
Well, as I take a drink of water, I should have known better.
Yeah,
so
I have this ESP. Every time I know that you're going to either take a bite of your breakfast or take a sip of water, I throw it right to you right away.
Right away.
And I say, all right, Chris America, tell him right now what's so hot. And you're like, okay, sorry, took in a drink of water.
Yeah. All right. So, we all know LeBron James 8 times in a row, and a lot of people were using this 8 finals in a row as this brilliant streak to prove that he is better than Michael Jordan. And I say nay, sir. I say nay. It's impressive, but it's not that impressive. And first of all, I listened back to that episode, our second episode 2 years ago, or nearly 2 years ago, Loudbeard. The sound was awful. If you're listening now and you didn't listen to us then, you have the good Scout Team radio, the good sound, the good voice. Everything's perfect except for the fact that I can't figure out how to, come into the studio on time with everything working. But anyways, so Loudbeard, I'm going to give you my 8-12. This was back in July of 2017 when I mentioned these 8. And at the time, little Timothy Richard Tebow was on a 12-game hit streak.
That's
12-game
impressive.
hit streak for a guy who hadn't played baseball since he was in high school and was told over and over and over again, like, what is this guy doing? He's taking up a roster spot for a guy that is working hard and trying to build his craft, and he's never going to get this right. And, man, I feel like even since then, Tim Tebow has exceeded expectations.
Inspirational
To the max.
All right, that's an impressive
That was number
streak.
8. 12. Tim Tebow getting a 12-game hit streak in any sort of professional baseball when he hadn't played baseball in 10, 12 years, however long it had been, is more impressive than going through the crappy Eastern Conference with your super team. Number 7, Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, their 16-week in the number 1 spot for the number 1 song. What was that song again, Loudbeard?
I have no idea.
You don't remember it? It was number 1 for 16 weeks, and you don't remember One Sweet Day is what it was called, Loudbeard.
Okay. Yeah, that song, okay.
Scotty
Good
Too
one.
Hottie. Scotty Too Hottie asked the girl to dance to this song. There is no doubt in my mind.
All right. Okay. I believe you.
All right. Then we had the Detroit Red Wings that summer ended their 25-year playoff streak. This is my number 6. 25 years, Loudbeard, of making it to the playoffs for the Detroit Red Wings. I don't think they've been since. No, they
Why
have
can't
been.
LeBron do 25 years?
Why
his streak
can't
is
he?
way less impressive.
I mean, he didn't even make the playoffs this year.
I know, seriously.
Messing up, LeBron. Now it was at 18 when we did this list. Now it's at 20. Pop's 20-year streak of making the playoffs. And is he gonna get that 50, Loudbeard? Because
I don't think so.
His
He lost
50's
last
at
night.
19.
Yeah, he lost last night. I don't think it's happening.
You don't think it's happening? But still, 19 years in a row, 50
Impressive.
wins for Greg Popovich in the NBA. It's super impressive. Then I have UConn Women's at number 4. UConn Women's 90-game and 111 win streak.
Yep.
Solid. Then now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. You ready for these, Loudbeard? The top 3.
I'm ready.
Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak. By far, just ridiculous.
time.
Do you think
Big
we'll ever
time.
see that broken?
No. That's one of those ones that I think will stay forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Especially now that baseball is so much about getting the long ball and there's all these like shifts and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, we have Brett Favre's 297 starts. Number 2, 297 consecutive starts. That's one. I don't know that one's going to be broken either. Maybe it will because they're protecting quarterbacks a lot more and, you have all these rules and stuff with the injuries. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that'll be broken soon.
I mean, poor Eli had his broken because of some stupid shenanigans from a coach.
I don't know. Eli's done. Like that coach is Ben Wackadoo McAdoo is probably smarter than we gave him credit for.
And the number one all-time streak, it will remain number one for forever because I will die to this day believing that there is no streak that could ever top this, and that is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, 917 weeks Billboard Top 200 albums from 1973 to 1988, 15 years, Loudbeard. The Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon album was on the Billboard Top 200. That is insane in the music world.
That is quite insane. Those are impressive streaks. And I kind of alluded to it. I think I'm going to take over and say I give this one bonus streak. And I looked it up just to make sure that I had the accurate facts, because when I listened back to our second episode ever, I heard myself talk about it, and I said about a 10-year streak. I'm looking back in the early years, back in 2009, the first debut for Justin Bieber was released. So from 2009 to 2019, we are now looking at 10 years. That's right, 10 long years. The longest streak, the most, I guess, respectable streak of all time, and that is 10 years of Justin Bieber being a douchebag. And book 'em. That to me is the most impressive
Book 'em,
streak.
Dano.
Book 'em. Most impressive streak. So I'm adding that to your list. 10 years of Justin Bieber being a douchebag. And that is my top one list of streaks better than LeBron James.
All of these are solid. All of them more impressive than LeBron James' eight years finals appearances because, let's face it, the Eastern Conference was awful. It's been awful. And it still has to prove that it has changed its ways since last year.
Yeah.
We have hope, though, right?
Yeah, we're also getting heat on Twitter.
You're getting heat,
lists,
not me.
Our lists were awful. No, you just got heat. You got some heat. Your list was awful. Just saying. I got a lot of heat because
he's
one
saying
sweet day.
it's awful for not including the 108 straight years with no World Series title. Nothing will top that. Hashtag Cubs. I don't know, man. I think it's easy to be mediocre.
That it is. Though losing for that long, it takes some talent.
It
some
does.
talent.
But-
Browns know about that.
Yeah.
The Browns.
The Browns.
Well, Chris
All right.
America.
I have a question for you, Loudbeard.
Oh, okay, good.
It's
I've
one
got an
I
answer
saw
for you.
It's one I saw on Twitter, and I think the guys over at Craft Brewed Sports will love it. I think you'll love it, and I think the rest of the audience will love it. I saw it
Okay.
on Twitter, and I thought it was interesting. Who would win in a one-on-one game between prime Dwight Howard, so let's say like 2007, 2008 Dwight Howard, or Joel Embiid today?
That's a good question. I'm going to lean towards prime Dwight Howard, and there's one reason for that. When he was in high school, he was actually like the point guard. And so he's got some pretty decent ball handling skills. A lot of people don't give him credit for that. And we forget how good he was because he is so bad now. But he was a guy in that MVP conversation. He was a defensive player of the year back to back to back. Dwight Howard in his prime was the best center hands down in the league. And not that Joel Embiid isn't in that same conversation, but I would give the slight edge to Dwight Howard in his prime over Joel Embiid.
I think what Joel Embiid adds to his offensive side of the game, where I think it is a little bit, I don't want to say it's better. I just think it's more diverse. Like he can jump outside and hit a couple of shots, where Dwight Howard is he's just going to dominate in the paint. But the way that Dwight Howard dominated in the paint was just unstoppable. And it was high percentage unstoppable. It was basically like Dwight Howard's either going to miss a dunk or you're just going to have to foul him so hard that you keep him from dunking the basketball. And I don't see Embiid having the strength to consistently hold Dwight Howard down. And then you add in the fact that Dwight Howard's defense was just phenomenal. He was probably one of the best defenders of all time for that 3-year stretch, like 2007, like 2006 through 2009. I feel like he was one of the top center defenders of all time.
Oh yeah, he brought so much to the game, and it's sad how far he fell from being that top player. So I don't know, man. I see where you're coming from. Joel Embiid's probably got a much better shot than what Dwight Howard had because
he's got a more diverse shot, more range. He's able to do things more with the basketball in his hands. But I think Dwight Howard can defend that.
So it'd be a fun game to watch. I wish I had my time machine all queued up. Then we'd be good. We could go back and do that. So you're asking basketball questions. I'm going to ask you a basketball question. Last night, the Clippers, they clinched a playoff spot with a 122-111 win over the Timberwolves. And this is a Clippers team that trades Tobias Harris midseason. There's no more Chris Paul. There's no more Blake Griffin. There's no more DeAndre Jordan. And they are now a playoff team. Is that a testament to how good Doc Rivers is as a coach?
I think so. I think we've always known he was a good coach. I hated that the Magic fired him way back in like 2004. I think it would have been fun to watch him take on Dwight's career and see what they could build around him. Now, I did like what Stan Van Gundy did when he finally got there, but that was like 3 years after the fact. I think you can say that Doc Rivers is one of those coaches that he adds to the team, right? I feel like most coaches don't add to an NBA team. They're just kind of there. Like Billy Donovan, I love Billy Donovan. He's a smart basketball coach, but right now he's proving he's just kind of there. He's just along for the ride of Russell Westbrook and PG and back when he first started Kevin Durant. Like he doesn't add any value to that team where I don't know that if he were to go coach the Magic, coach the Heat, coach the Pelicans, that he'd be able to make them an NBA playoff team.
No, I agree with you. With those players that you're mentioning, like Russell Westbrook and Paul George, any coach could go in there and make the playoffs with that squad, right? So he's not adding any additional value is what you're saying.
Yeah. Where I still feel like coaching doesn't matter. Like Greg Popovich adds a ton of value. He's like the one coach that kind of negates that argument. And I say coaching doesn't matter to the point of it's not going to matter towards you winning or losing a championship. Like, it might matter for like 10-plus wins, making you a playoff team or not a playoff team, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of like Bill Belichick can take a squad and make it a Super Bowl contender without having all the talent in the world, right?
Yeah.
So
no, I'm with you. I am 100% with you on that. I mean, we think of Greg Popovich as being a difference maker. Doc Rivers, a difference maker. Ty Lue, right? These are the ones you're thinking of?
Yes, all of those guys. I'm thinking of Ty Lue. I'm thinking of even Steve Kerr. Like if Steve Kerr, this is one of the most phenomenal what-if stories because Steve Kerr had 2 offers on the table. He had a New York Knicks offer from Phil Jackson, and he had a Golden State Warriors offer back in 2014, I believe it was. And if he chooses the Knicks, Steve Kerr is like one of those bouncing around coaches that you're like, I mean, he's okay. Everybody says he's a smart basketball coach, but he had a losing record in New York, and then maybe he went to Orlando and had a losing record there. He's not Steve Kerr, the 3-time NBA championship coach.
No, absolutely not. Man, sometimes we call that the butterfly effect, right? When one decision could have changed the whole outlook of the NBA, and that Steve Kerr decision, crazy.
But Loudbeard, I have somebody challenging your streak of 10 years for Justin Bieber.
Okay, let's hear it.
I got Mark texting in saying Howard was great in his prime, but he's a douche. And then he texted me a picture of a logo that says douchebag. So he might be challenging Justin Bieber's douchebaggery streak because Dwight Howard's been that since 2004. I'd have to look back to see when Justin Bieber's douchebaggery started.
Now, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it was actually. It wasn't 2004. I don't know. Dwight is such an odd case, man.
He was likable for a while.
He
wasn't
was.
He was likable. It was really like 2011 when he became full DB. Full DB 2011. I'll give
All
him
right.
that. So I
can give
think
you that.
Bieber's got him beat on the DB streak by 2 years. I think Dwight's got an 8-year streak going. Justin Bieber's got a 10-year streak going. I mean, there's really both impressive streaks of who's a bigger douchebag, but I actually think that Justin Bieber takes that one. So I appreciate Mark tweeting in or texting in on the text line, but at the same time, I got to stand by my pick that the longest douchebag streak.
Bieber pick.
I got to go with the Bieber pick.
All right.
All right, so here's a
like
hot
that.
take. I want to get your thought on this. On the Twitter line, we've got if Steve Kerr took the Knicks job, he would be equal to Derek Fisher. Just saying. Do you think that is true?
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody who could have came in or who could have come in and done anything with that roster. It was just a trash roster around Carmelo Anthony, and it's just one of those things where you got to stay in your lane, Phil Jackson. Just because you're a great head coach doesn't mean you're a great GM.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It's weird to say, but you would think a head coach would be able to scout out players, and maybe he had that side going where he could scout out teams and get and know which players he needs to get, but maybe he just sucked at the negotiation side of it and wheeling and dealing side of it, because you can identify a player, but then you have to sign him too.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So we have somebody chiming in that the beginning of his likability, the beginning of the end of his likability was winning the slam dunk contest. So we'll have to see when he put on the Superman cape and threw the ball into the hoop and didn't actually dunk it. That's when
was
we
the beginning
think
of the end.
That was the beginning of the end. Of
Okay,
Dwight
so
Howard's likability.
As we're talking about douchebag streaks, I need to segue into this Big Baller Brand story because it's really starting to heat up.
Yes.
Lonzo
thank you.
Ball covers up his Big Baller Brand tattoo. This is the beginning of the end, my friend. It's not looking very good.
You know what? This is the best move Lonzo Ball can make in his life, is separating himself from all of the shenanigans and BS that his dad brought with him into the league. I think this is finally that moment in Lonzo's life where he looks at his life and says, I got to be my own man now. Like, I got to do my thing. I'm not a kid anymore. Dad can't carry me along. I can't keep up with Dad's shenanigans. Like, I love him. I love you, Pops, but I can't be doing this no more. And now he's finally doing his own thing. And you know what? Oprah's solid to Lonzo Ball for finally, slowly but surely, breaking away from all of the craziness that's been going on with his dad.
Yeah, but is he breaking away from all of that or just the business? That's what I want to know. Their co-founder, Alan Foster, who they're accusing of missing $1.5 million out of Lonzo's accounts and the Big Baller Brand accounts, they've started dropping them from their reality show, Ball in the Family. So they're moving on, but they still have a reality show on Facebook called Ball in the Family. Is he really moving on? Is he really?
No, well, because, see, there's all kinds of reality shows out there with NBA players. That part is just, now it's just part of the deal. It's part of what we do as a society. I don't think the reality show was that much. It was just the whole, the dad being the show, the dad going in doing interviews, the dad pumping up this $400 shoe that was garbage, all of that stuff. Like, that's what you need to separate from. And I mean, the dad's been quiet outside of when he started running his mouth when LeBron James was gone. And you notice that? We never brought that up. We noticed how when LeBron James was out, or LeVar came out of the woodworks. He came out and he was running his mouth. And then now that his son didn't get traded and LeBron James is back, where's LeVar at? Were
he
you
disappeared.
at, LeVar?
No, I completely agree with
you.
you.
He went back cowering in his corner because LeBron put him in his place.
Yeah, I think he thought that Lonzo was gone already. He thought that trade was going to happen, so he figured it was time to go ahead and just get back out into the limelight. But you're right. Once that trade was nixed, he went back into whatever cave or whatever hole he's living in.
Yeah, and I think once he didn't get traded, like Magic, LeBron, they came back and they said, time to go, little fella. Get out of the way. And then maybe they looked at Lonzo and said, Lonzo, man, I get it. You love your dad, but you got to start thinking long and hard about this relationship you have with him, because your NBA career isn't gonna last that long with teammates and stuff, with your dad going on radio shows and trashing your teammates and your coaches.
Yeah. Well, we're up against the end of the show here, and I had one little topic I wanted to talk about, so we're going to give
All right,
it
let's hear
30
it.
seconds. The NFL approves challenges and reviews for pass interference starting in 2019. We'll call this the Saints rule.
Yeah, the Saints rule. We'll call it that. And, man, it's like, let's go inch by fixing things. Because now there's going to be some other incidents where we're going to want to challenge and we're going to argue and debate about it. And instead of just coming up with a end-all, be-all fix, we're just going to, we'll take care of this leak over here and ignore the 15 other leaks over there.
Yeah, everything's a knee-jerk reaction, right? Until it happens, we're not going to try to
We're not going to
prevent
do anything about it. Yep. So, well, good show, man. We want to appreciate Scott Kaiser and Mike Berlon for chiming in. It was almost felt like a Craft Brewed. We talked about universes merging. It was like Craft Brewed Sports and Scout Team Radio merging.
It was like a Freddy versus Jason, a AVP versus Predator, or wait, no, that Alien versus Predator, that was AVP.
By the
It
way,
was a Craft
I'm
Brewed
I'm
STR
Predator in
versus
this.
CBS.
Yeah, I'm Predator in this.
No, I think you're that guy that dies in the first scene.
I'm not black.
Oh, I'm not editing that out. I'm not.
What? That's a common nomenclature that black people are the first ones to die in horror movies. Don't hate me. Hate the player. Hate not the game. Or the game.
I like how you try to use fancy words to cover up nomenclature. That's what we call it.
Peace.
Hey, what's up there, listeners? This is your friendly neighborhood Loudbeard, and I'm here to tell you that there's two type of people in the world: those that are on a podcast and those that want to be on a podcast. And if you are one of those out there that want to be on a podcast, one of the first decisions you will need to make is which podcast host you want to use. That's right. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, you need to check out Podbean. Here at Scout Team Radio, we have been using Podbean since the very beginning, and we absolutely love it. They are easy to use, and they have affordable options. Just go to podbean.com/STR. That's right, Scout Team Radio. Podbean.com/STR to get started today. What are you waiting for?